Then living on the streets, I was sleeping outside shops and shit, I was getting attacked, you get pissed on, and then you have to fight back. As soon as you start fighting back, because you're the homeless one, you're the problem, right? You ask the council for somewhere to live, 2-year waiting list, bro.
To all my haters, you ain't all lie. You talk slick, but you ain't all lie. Spots overrun and becoming a shanty town. I'm not used to that word shanty. That's pretty new to me. But yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. Original link will be in the descriptions. We're smoking all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. We flying over to the UK again, one of my favorite places, and let's figure out what's going on. The YouTuber Joe Fish is his name, and yeah, let's see what Joe got to say.
Today I'm in Glastonbury in the county of Somerset, a town that's internationally renowned for hosting one of the world's largest music festivals, but also for having more people living in cars, caravans and derelict buildings than anywhere else in the country. With locals complaining that the area has been overrun and turned into a shanty town, let's investigate Glastonbury and find out whether the headlines match what we find in the town.
For decades, Glastonbury has been at the centre of all things alternative here in the UK, and a hub for pilgrims, visitors and merchants for thousands of years. However, according to reports in the national media, in recent years the town has been flooded by a wave of people descending on the town that residents complain have no local ties to the area. This, locals say, is increasingly causing problems in the town, with cases of antisocial behaviour, substance abuse and other crime statistics on a steep incline. What is causing this huge increase? Today we hear from the locals and spend time with those within the non-bricks and mortar community, gaining exclusive access into one of the UK's largest alternative communities.
You can see the beautiful Glastonbury Tor overlooking the caravans there. Local authorities have recently stated there's around 30 times more vehicle-dwelling households in Glastonbury than there is in Bristol, a city that has been dubbed Caravan City by the national press.
Councillor Heather Shearer for Community Health and Services said, I quote, "By proportion of the overall population, Glastonbury has got 20 to 30 times more van-dwelling households than Bristol. Nowhere in the country has as many," end quote. The term vehicle or van dweller often brings thoughts of the Irish or Romany travelling community. This is not to be confused. The majority of what we see in Glastonbury is not from these communities.
The area in Bristol referred to as Caravan City was covered by myself in a recent video. And off the back of that video, I received countless emails and messages asking me to come to Glastonbury to cover the issues here. I didn't think there could be as many caravans as there are in Bristol in a small town like Glastonbury. But honestly, they are absolutely everywhere.
Jeez.
So how are you finding living amongst so many caravans and camper vans?
There's a photograph in some of our yearbooks that shows.
For some reason, I keep thinking of California and LA. There's this one street where it's just so many homeless people.
I don't really know. I mean, I've partially gotten used to
Just a bunch of people living in like tents and...
it, I suppose. Antisocial behaviour and...
When you say antisocial behaviour, what tends to be the case?
I couldn't believe what this girl was doing. I opened the front door.
Yeah.
She was standing at a craft shop across the road. She had her breasts out of her bra and she was giving the local boys who were surf around her either a group breastfeed or a biology lesson situation. The next thing I know, she was kicking me around the ground like a foot.
Oh, nah. We gotta do better, people. We gotta do better. That was crazy. What she just described sounds like something that I just would never want to see, ever. And, you know, I've seen a lot of things coming from New York. A lot of things. But I would hope that when I visit the UK, that's something I never experience.
Well, I think it's mainly people who get drunk.
Right.
They get drunk and they just become out of their heads, aren't they?
Seems to be a lot of complaints about the rubbish and the human waste and other things like that.
I haven't got anything intrinsically against them because,
I cringe.
you know, I suppose if that's a lifestyle that they choose to have.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sound like just a kind of narrow-minded old bag sort of thing when it comes down to it.
I'm now on Kennard's Moor Drove, one of the more notorious areas within Glastonbury. There must be hundreds of people living along this 1 mile stretch of road.
They just continue and continue and continue.
It strikes me there's many living down this road that without their caravan would frankly be on the streets. And then on the other hand, there's countless folk here that have chosen this way of life.
Many of the caravans are covered in graffiti.
When you think of homelessness, often it's rough sleepers that come to mind. But as you know, homelessness comes in many different forms.
Thank you to My Heritage for sponsoring today's video.
Researching my family tree is something I've always wanted to do. With the help of My Heritage, this has been made easier than ever.
My Heritage are the global leaders in family history research, trusted by over 90 million users worldwide. My Heritage makes building your family tree a simple and fun thing to do. With the help of the features, prompts and access to over 19 billion records, I easily managed to trace my ancestry back over 5 generations.
At the click of a button, using the Discoveries feature,
I was shocked to find that I have family ties in San Francisco and New York. This added a whole new branch to my family tree that I had no idea about. Using the photo restore and animation tools is easy to do. Simply upload photos and watch as they are restored and brought to life at the click of a button. This has genuinely been a wonderful experience. Using this feature, I restored numerous old photos, some of which were over 100 years old. With the help of these tools, I animated an old photo of my great-grandfather, Joseph. If you want to easily build your family tree, research your family history, and use the powerful photo features,
click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen now to get yourself a 14-day free trial. Thank you to My Heritage for sponsoring today's video.
look at the state of disrepair this one's in. It's got no windows. It's all been completely put through. Absolutely crazy.
Guys, I ain't gonna lie, I've really been cringing ever since, like, I seen all that stuff in the dumpster. It just reminds me of living in New York City. You know, sometimes I come outside and it just be the streets, walking in the streets sometimes will be so dirty. Like your skin will start feeling like it's crawling. Ow! Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
You can just see how many there are. Honestly, there must be hundreds.
There's been numerous reports of violence and antisocial behaviour taking place down this road, with reports of a 68-year-old lady being pushed off her bike and violently assaulted.
That's not right.
Rural homelessness has increased by around 40% over the last 4 years, with the southwest of the UK being the worst affected area. Is this a potential cause and reason why we're finding so many people settling in encampments just like the one we've seen?
You can see there's an eviction notice tied to this caravan.
In the area, I've lived here for 10 years. So where am I going to go? They're going to effectively make me lose my job.
Yeah.
So I can't live in the area. What am I going to do with my dog?
Yes.
I don't have family. Yeah, so shame on them, by the way. I mean, I can't prove anything. Backhanded deals. Where's this here plot? Apparently, they've changed the plans now and they're going to be putting it in the coal yard. Mate, they need to be telling people whose lives they're affecting what their plan is.
Yeah.
Because it's sending me fucking mental. They're sending us all fucking bonkers. You never know when you come. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Thank you very much.
I hate to ask, but it helps tremendously when you like, comment and subscribe. When I film content like this, I want it to go out to as wide an audience as possible. And with your help, we can do that.
So I'm going to therapy.
Definitely go show his channel some love. Much respect to him getting out there and talking to the everyday people.
You can see the state of that caravan dead ahead. This is one of the largest encampments within Glastonbury. But you can just see the vastness of it. It continues and continues all out the back. A huge area that's now been overtaken by settlers. Seems to be a main building of sorts, surrounded by shipping containers, caravans. Got an old minibus here.
It just continues and continues.
A number of old bicycles, caravans,
camper vans, motorhomes. So I've been kindly let into this yard. You can see each individual plot there for the caravans. There's the main outbuilding.
This place is absolutely a godsend to us. Me and Joe come all the way down from Manchester to Glastonbury in Somerset. 56 different towns in 11 months we've tried just to find somewhere to call home, literally, yeah. We have had some really horrible times, But since we found this place, it gives us everything we need to actually just survive and shower and, you know, it's secure.
Secure. There's a closed, locked gate.
All the troubles outside them gates, you don't need to worry about all that. My dog's happily just sat there. But
I am not mad at that at all.
I think I found home, and I really don't want to go. I like it. This is home. This is where my heart's here now.
100%. Been to 50 different cities, towns, and our life has been in danger.
Wow.
Literally over and over and over.
Towns, God knows how many times. Woken up by drug addicts at 4 o'clock in the morning. But here, that's all stopped.
But we're still standing, and that's why we're not giving up.
Yep. A number of the caravans and the outbuildings here were in a total state of disrepair. And the fellas have actually done a number of the repairs themselves.
They're not living on the streets. I was sleeping outside shops and shit. I was getting attacked. You get pissed on, and then you have to fight back. As soon as you start fighting back, because you're the homeless one, you're the problem, right? You ask the council for somewhere to live, 2-year waiting list, bro. What am I supposed to do in that 2 years? My life was a complete mess. Finally found somewhere where I could lock myself away, stay away from crime. We've been working and putting our minds together to build something. We've created a community, we've got a toilet, we've got water, we've got shower, we've all got houses that are clean. Whereas before, we've all got dogs to look after and ourselves. Last year, you look at all of us, you'd have thought we was all tramps stuck in a dead position where none of us would have been in next year. This town's an amazing town, but there's so many travellers here with nowhere to fucking go. We've been completely excluded from the community and left with no other opportunity but to come and take over a bit of an abandoned land that they was going to let rust away and live personally. If they're not going to use this, and they're going to moan about us tearing up the streets, why not let us fucking stay here and build something better? So when they do come here, they've got something to build on themselves, rather than an abandoned piece of overgrown land with fuck all to it.
They are in an ongoing battle with the council in regards to eviction. If these men and women are evicted from this plot of land, they have nowhere else to go. You can see the eviction notices there on the building. I have to be honest, I've been overwhelmed by the friendliness of the residents, of the caravans, of the buildings on the outskirts of Glastonbury. Nearly every single person has stopped and chatted to me, gave me their time.
On the outskirts of Glastonbury are many abandoned buildings, one of which is the infamous Zigzag building. Originally used as a tannery for the manufacture of leather goods, the building lay abandoned for years until being privately purchased over a decade ago. This has now grown into one of the UK's largest alternative communities, drawing attention and criticism from the media and residents of the area. Finally coming to a head with the building now being served an eviction notice from local authorities.
Many of the caravans on the roads surrounding the Zigzag building have certainly seen better days. This one's literally falling apart.
Question: have you always wanted to start a Facebook?
It's videos like this that really are an eye-opener, especially for people like me, all the way out here in America, that would have no clue what would be going on, you know?
This one's literally falling apart. Just approaching the front of the Zigzag building now, and you can see there's a watchtower made of metal sheeting up there. Let's continue to the front of the building. You can see the Zigzag sign on the outside of the Zigzag building.
I live here 10 years. I'm the longest person living here.
So you're the longest resident of the Zigzag building, and you say you've been here 10 years?
So yeah, the eviction that we can't stay here. this is not really nice thing, is it? Like, I'm not really sure what Somerset Council will gain with it, that it will have 23 more people on the streets. The
Yes.
authorities and us to kind of understand each other and to meet somewhere in the middle. And it's like, okay, we need you to have a proper showers, to have a proper toilets, you have to have proper electricity. Us to pay a council tax, we will pay a council tax. You know, we could meet there, but they've been like, no, it's not helpful for anyone. And it made me feel like kind of sad, definitely, that the authorities didn't recognize that not all the travelers living in the caravan are actually trailsicks, you know, junkies or something, that some people... It is obvious, like, a problem with travelers in Glastonbury. Yeah, but travelers are making Glastonbury to be Glastonbury too, unfortunately, and I hate it too. But like a lot of people just come to Glastonbury having like their festival life and leaving lots of rubbish around their vans, yelling to each other the whole days. And I understand that the locals don't like it. I totally get it, because I hate this too. There are people like me who can't really make money, but with part-time job you can't pay a proper rent for the studio and for the living. And Chris gave us this opportunity to do your passion and to be able to survive in this world. And if you are not like a fussy princess and you don't mind that you don't have a shower every single day, it's like it's kind of like the best opportunity. You know, and Chris will let them in if they will come.
See a number of hats here, made by the residents of the Zigzag building. Let's head on upstairs. It just continues and continues. Room after room. Seems to be like a chill out zone with sofas and incense. Up we go to the top floor.
I ain't even gonna lie, that was impressive. They definitely turned that into their paradise.
This seems to be a bit of a storage area up on the top of the building. You can see they've set some archery targets out. I believe there's around about 23 people that reside in the Zigzag building and call this area home. I cannot believe what we found inside. I was not expecting that. If it wasn't for the gentleman that purchased this building, it would have been left abandoned and left to rot. You can see the wooden doors ahead of me. Those are the main doors that I walked through earlier. Let's head out and check out the gardens. You can see there's a number of huts and outbuildings here in the gardens of the Zigzag building. Seems to be the toilet and shower area. Pee only, no poo. Paper in bin, please. You can see on the outside of the Zigzag building, it almost looks like nature's reclaiming the building. With the vines and the ivy growing up the side. Just check out one of these outbuildings. Inside you can see a big cooker, a sofa. You can see one of the huts that's being used by a resident of the Zigzag building. Another one of the outbuildings that's used by the residents. You can see cucumber plants, tomato plants, various different fruits and vegetables planted along the outsides here. It's lovely and warm in this little dome. Well guys, that was the Zigzag building here in Glastonbury. Let me know, do you think they should stay or should they go?
Quite incredible what they built up there. It very much reminds me of my time in Freetown Christiania in Copenhagen.
I can see that this caravan's in a total state, with one side buckled and falling off the caravan. Glastonbury is one of my favourite high streets in the country. It's always very busy, all of the shops are open, full of colour and life.
It's a really tough one, and I do see it from both points of view, the vehicle dwellers and the residents of Glastonbury.
With locals complaining the town is overrun and fast becoming a shanty town, while residents of the caravans, vehicles and non-bricks and mortar community are voicing they simply have nowhere else to go. Both sides are at a stalemate. The fact that often these encampments cause not only distress to local residents but environmental damage needs addressing. However, I feel there are many viable options to solve this issue. With the right planning and funding, one of the disused buildings or yards we visited earlier could be repurposed and regulated to house a huge number of the caravans and vans that we see on the side of the road, protecting these people from becoming another rough sleeping statistic on our streets. In one hand, there seems to be a huge number of people here that without the caravans and other dwellings would likely be on the streets. Then, in the other hand, there are many people here in Glastonbury that have actively chosen this way of life.
Well, that was Glastonbury. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you thought the town lived up to the headlines. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
I just want to say a massive thank you to MyHeritage for sponsoring today's video. I'm really looking forward to using their services to find out more about my family history. Remember guys, click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen now to get yourself a 14-day free trial. Big thanks to MyHeritage for sponsoring today's video.
So that was my first time diving into Glastonbury. Kudos, you know, to the person, the man Joe, who went and documented this. Reminds me a lot of just what I'm used to seeing in America in certain areas. We got a place in. I just start to cringe, guys. We got this place in was it Philadelphia, Kensington, which is like we're all like so many, a whole strip of just fiends, you know, drug addicts. New York, I mean, just you're gonna find them. It's not gonna be hard. Upstate New York, you got certain places where just trailer parks and just listen. Those people, though, I would hate to see them sleeping on the street. You know, I do hope that the government over there, they can come together. I know everybody has their rules and regulations, but I really hope that there's a way that they could come together and figure something out instead of just, you know, throwing them out and, you know, just figure something out to where the locals are at peace and everybody's at peace. It's crazy because I remember playing a video game called The Last of Us about 2 years ago. Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2, and where they're living reminds me of, basically Last of Us is about this disease, this outbreak happens, and long story short, it turns into people. If you guys seen the, I think it was a TV show on like Hulu or Netflix, they had turned it into a TV show, but something similar to a zombie kind of thing, apocalypse, where people are like looking for safe places to go, and like that reminds me of that. Like they're literally practicing archery. You never know, those people could save people's lives one day. Something happened out here. So it's like we definitely don't want to turn our back on the people. We just want to figure something out. I just feel like this planet has given us so much resources to work with that no one should have to fight for basic necessities at all. At all. They shouldn't. And that also can trigger a lot of animosity and anger if there is, because I know in America, you know, there's a lot of immigrants that come in, and then the people get triggered because it's like, hold on, they're getting treated better than the ones that been here. So it's like, I don't know if that's similar to what's going on over there, but it could just create all this animosity and all these problems. when in all reality, all the people got to do is come together and figure something out. Those people are very, very creative. Very creative. I was impressed by, you know, that room they had in that building. I mean, very creative. Like I said, though, I cringe. I tend to cringe because just used to seeing New York City streets, like with garbage all over. It took me back, you know, in the beginning of the video. And I remember getting up early to go to work and just, you walk out there and I done turned around and went home a few times. Facts. That's a fact. Because I would just be like, oh, I would just start to cringe so much because, you know, when you look around and it looks like there's just throw up all in the street and all that, you know what, I don't like filth. I don't like that filthiness, you know, it's disgusting. But those people, look, they keeping it, you know, it seems like they're working on definitely keeping things together. And you know, the guy it was crazy how the guy said he felt safe, like it was gated in, like they were their own protection from the world, from the outside world. That was sad at the same time. You know, that was sad at the same time. It's like the monsters were really outside that gate, and outside that gate, those monsters are called humans. That's sad, man. That's sad. He didn't say he was gating it from animals or, you know, he was from the outside world. You know, but man, with that being said, that was an amazing video, honestly. Shout out to Joe Fish. Original link in the description. He did an incredible job. Just someone like me in America can really see the insights and, you know, get that view of what's really happening, what's really going on, and how things is looking over there. And I get to see every perspective, from the beauty out there to this. Wow. But with that being said, I will see you guys soon, you know, and everybody just keep your heart open out here, you know, try not to be too judgmental. And, yeah, I just feel like we got a lot to go through on this planet before it gets better. So hang in tight. Much love, yeah. If you want more videos like this, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, or that notification bell. Definitely helps me with the algorithm. And I'll see you all soon.